Hey everyone, it is Monday, January 29th, 2018, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been a fantastic day. I'm in a really good place and excited for a productive session as usual. I'm getting a little bit late start on the day today, just still dialing out some old habits, dialing in the new ones, and just tweaking my game plan, but I'm making progress, and I'm frustrated that I'm not where I want to be yet, but I think it's a healthy frustration, and I'm excited that I'm on my way to where I want to be and getting new data and new information to help me get there. So it's part of the process. Gonna hit some online classes, update you guys with what I'm doing there. Going to hit a quick guitar practice, share my progress. Going to dive into the production front and check the drum takes I did yesterday, and then start working on the next section of the tune. Then gonna take a break. Gonna check the vocal takes I did yesterday briefly, make some notes for tomorrow, and then going to dive deep into the guitar solo for this new tune and start knocking it out. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions or comments as we go. I love hearing from you guys, and I will update you guys in a few with what I accomplish. Alright, extremely strong first half of the day, which is fantastic. Got into the online class front and started working on my mini bio, which is like a one-sentence bio to just introduce yourself and tell people what you're all about for platforms like Twitter and Instagram, where there's just a really tiny little bio section in there, like one sentence kind of thing. And I was kind of hung up on that for the last few months because I was trying to get my micro niche in there, and the micro niche I've started to realize is a tool, and it's a concept that you can use for your own leverage, and it's really about SEO. That's really what the micro niche is about, as far as like putting it in a bio type thing. And then the other function of the micro niche is defining the culture of people who love your music, right? So those are two different those are two important elements of that, because a micro niche, it should be something people are actually typing into Google. But what I realized is I can play around with my mini bio, because I was reading an article about Facebook marketing, and I've sort of chosen, for the time being, Facebook as my first platform that I'm going to just go deep on, rather than spreading myself thin and doing everything all at once. And like, I'm not totally sure how that's going to go, but I've sort of just picked that direction and I'm going for it. We'll see what happens. And in this article, one of the big takeaways was people generally only look at your Facebook page wall one time. So when they go to visit your page for the first time, they'll look at your wall once, and they're just deciding, do I want to like this page? Do I want to subscribe to this person's content, basically? And from that point on, they're only going to be interacting with your posts in their own news feed. So I realized, like, whatever you put on that landing page and your banner and your bio and stuff like that, it's really just a sales pitch for your page. You're just trying to get people into what you're doing. And that kind of freed me up as far as that mini bio went, because I realized, like, people don't need to read my micro niche like it's in a search term or something like that. I can hashtag that for search results. I can put that in other parts of the page so that it comes up on search results. It's like, I want someone, when they read my mini bio, to be like, dang, that sounds fresh as fuck. Let me check out this content. This content is fucking amazing, and it's totally tailored to what I love. Let me like this page and let me interact with it all the time, right? So that's kind of a different thing. I realized that was an important distinction for me, and it was kind of a breakthrough for me, which was really nice. So just started updating that here and there, and I'm having fun with it. It makes it a little more creative for me. Instead of trying to fit myself into a box, I feel like I can make my own box. So from there, I got into a really good guitar practice, kept it pretty light, and just working more on minor pentatonic, scale shapes up and down the neck, and note name memorization. Then I took a short break and did some reading for the Mixing Secrets from the Small Studio book, and the main takeaway there was building on why you want to high-pass filter a lot of your tracks and restrict the low end of the mix to just the bass instruments like kick drum and bass guitar in the rock idiom like me. And one of the side benefits of that, other than being able to control your mix and make better decisions in a less than ideal room, is in the mastering phase, if you realize the low end balance is off, it's much easier to change that without affecting the rest of the mix balance if you have to, because you can just block off one of the frequency spectrums and do your own compression and EQ just on that low end part. So it makes it just easier, simpler. So that was great, and then I got into the production front, listened back to the drum takes from yesterday. They were very, very good. Interestingly, the final take I did without the click track was my favorite, so that's a good reiteration of what I sort of learned a couple weeks ago, which is tracking drums without the click. I think I just get slightly better results. And then I also realized that it's probably a good idea for me to track with the actual frequency spectrum of the track for final takes. And what I mean by that is when I'm doing a lot of drum takes in a row, the high frequencies in particular when I'm listening on headphones can get really grating on my ears. And so what I do is I EQ the track and I EQ the drum set to cut a lot of the high frequencies out. It just makes it easier to play for a longer period of time without listening fatigue. But when I put all those back in, the track sounds a little different, right? So I've realized like I can do all my practice takes with the EQs on, but after that I think I should take them off and track with how it's actually going to sound a little closer on the record. So those were really good takeaways. But the takes I have are more than usable, and I may go back and retrack them, we'll see. From there, I jumped on the drums and warmed up and then started working on the chorus section. I'm not totally sure what I want to do with that section of this tune. So I just started fleshing some ideas out, and I'll probably just do some rough cuts of those tomorrow and then listen back to them on Wednesday and then make a judgment call and just track those sections by the end of the week. But in the meantime, I can probably move on, start tracking the second verse if I want to. So I'm going to take a break, have some food, and dive back in a few. Alright, overall good second half of the day and good day overall. I just did some editing on I edited yesterday's video, and then jumped into editing some of the vocals and listening to the vocal takes from yesterday, and they were definitely a lot better than I thought they were going to be, which is great. And I think I got something that's pretty much usable for the first verse, first chorus. It turns out my guide take for the first verse was pretty much the best one. Versus what I tracked yesterday, and then the chorus was a definite improvement, so that was really good. And I might just leave that. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is hit the second verse, second pre-chorus, second chorus as hard as I can, even though I said I wouldn't do that. I think I'm just going to try to knock it out, because it's pretty close. And yeah, I think if I do that, then I've got a pretty good shot at having this song almost completely tracked by the end of this week, which would be pretty insane. So I kind of want to go for that, because that way I've got February to knock out the next tune 100%, and then March to knock out the fourth tune, and then I'm pretty much done tracking, which would be crazy epically huge right now. So I'm going to just try to make it happen. So yeah, what I did after that is just got into the guitar solo, but I was kind of distracted and just fighting a lot of mental fatigue and distractions. And once I started just working on it, it was fine, and I was in the groove. And I've realized, I think the main takeaway from today for me is like, I just should stop thinking and just focus on executing the game plan for the day. And like, whether I'm tired, happy, sad, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Just like sit down and just do the work, take a break if I need it, but then just like get back into it as quickly as possible, because there's such a magic to just getting in action, and like all the fatigue melts away. There's no mental space to be like distracted by negativity or anything like that, and I can just move myself forward. So I feel like it's been a really good battle the last couple days, and I'm really like clawing and scratching my way to the next level, and I'm in a good place. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys are out there grinding towards your goals, enjoying the process. That's what I'm out here doing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Can't wait.